This is the CHRILLCAST. I'm Chris.
And I'm Will.
And I'm Ren.
And today is what, Will?
It is a wild card Wednesday.
Yeah. And if there's anybody even close to the room near him, they probably heard him say that and they're like, what a loser. No.
They're already thinking that.
That's what I think every time I look in the mirror. It's okay.
Oh, don't even go
so
there.
sad.
Don't
What
do
a
that.
loser.
So today, Ren, before we go into deep details on your channel and your time on YouTube, why don't you tell everybody about your channel so they can subscribe before they watch this video?
That's right. Go subscribe. I do a lot of like random stuff on my channel, whatever I feel like recording, so that I always have to do anytime like a heroes banner is up, like a new heroes banner is out. I always do that or try. I do tea times. It's just me talking. And I do a lot of like art stuff on my channel, and I did one character analysis.
And she actually uses her community tab unlike a lot of other YouTubers, so definitely
I need to use it more often. I haven't used it that much, but
you're more active and engaged than a lot of other content creators I've seen. Like you and Mangs both definitely hit it with the community tab, which is a highly underutilized thing. So go and interact with Rin. Go subscribe to her channel. Watch her stuff. She's good. Especially Adult Hot Dragon banner art review. That is a mouthful.
it's not clickbait. I promise.
No, it's not. That is like actually describing what she's going to talk about. So, so today we're continuing our conversations with the CHRILLCAST series, and today our guest is Rin. So why doesn't Will start this with... that's bad English. Why don't you just start this with the first question before I slaughter the English language?
All right, sounds good. All right, so what inspired you to create your channel?
So I guess I kind of felt like it would be a missed opportunity. I've kind of always wanted to do it, but I've never really had the drive, and I've been in university, so it's always been something that's like I don't really have the time to do it. But the first thing I've ever done on YouTube was Mecha's 24-hour stream, and I had to like a lot of people seemed to like me, I guess, and then I did a stream with Mangs as well, and at that point it was kind of like, well, if I didn't do anything, I would lose the opportunity to do anything, and I wouldn't have grown as quickly as I did. So I mean that's what inspired me to create my YouTube channel.
That brings us to our next question. How did you wind up working with Mecha and Mangs?
So I with Mecha, it's kind of like I guess it's like a funny story. So Mangs 2 years ago ish did he was hiring a designer, and I had never designed in my life prior to this point, but I was like, whatever, I'm gonna try to apply, and I didn't get it, obviously. Jake, who is a very talented designer, got it, and I was like, well, fuck, I'm just gonna DM Mecha and see if he wants me as a designer. So I did, and he said yes. I'm not saying you should DM Mecha, by the way. Please don't do that. My God, he's gonna get so mad at me. So for a while, I worked as maybe like an intern. I did it for free, and I offered for free, so it's not Mecha's choice by no means to not pay me. And that was for about a year until I joined his 24-hour stream. And at that point, I stayed awake because I went to school that day too, and then I joined onto the stream right afterwards. So I stayed awake a good 36 hours because I was there almost the whole 24 hours of his stream. I was there for like 22 of it maybe. And I guess he saw the loyalty I had, so then that's when he started to want to pay me, and I guess he probably felt bad too, I don't know.
So I can say I can definitely relate to staying up super long time for stuff like that. But I'm not going to talk about me today. We're talking about you. I'm just saying I understand your pain.
Yeah, no problem.
What would you say was your favorite like collab with either Mecha or Mangs that you did?
My favorite collab? I'm stupid. Another part of the last question, I met Mangs through the 24-hour thing, and that's how we started.
Oh, so he watched the Mecha live stream with you doing the 24-hour live stream?
No, he was in it. He
was in that one too? And
we were in it like at the same time.
I must have missed that video altogether.
It was a while ago. It was like celebratory of something or whatever.
Something.
I mean, it was like, I think of his subscriber count.
Whoa, we lost Will.
I will. Should
This is
I
what
wait
happened.
until he comes back? I'm confused.
Yeah, we'll just wait. We'll just wait a second.
What editing program?
This is OBS. The problem is I have it set.
What do you use to edit? Because I know this is OBS.
Yeah. I use a couple different programs, but usually Olive is when I edit. You ever heard of that?
Or not.
It's a free to use program.
Oh, that's cute.
I don't know if you meant that in like a sarcastic way or.
Well, no, because I have to use Adobe because I already use Photoshop for designing for Mecha, so I spend sadly $30 a month for it.
I have thought about going that route. Hold on, Will, you ended up in the wrong place again.
Sorry about that.
I'll just snip that.
Oh,
I'll
Will,
snip
your
that part
background's
out.
blurred.
Yeah, you must have accidentally done it.
Nice.
Blurred curtains.
All right, so people are gonna notice a difference, Will. So I'm gonna just count us down from 3, 2, 1. Do you remember what we were saying when we dropped Will?
Something about 24-hour stream. There was a lot of other
Yes.
content creators, and that's how I met most of them.
Okay. I guess worst case, I will cut it up and use that as your summary for what we just talked about.
Okay.
Or I'll leave in the
Sorry.
comical part where Will dropped out. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see how it goes. Sometimes they're fun. So the next question, Will, it's your turn.
Yeah. So when did you start? Hold on. When did you start doing art, and what kind of art is your favorite to do?
Oh, geez. I started doing art. I don't know. Like, it depends. Technically, I started doing art when I was like 6. But that doesn't mean it was good art. That's about like anime. I guess I like doing really cutesy art. And anime tends to fall in that category. I like my stuff to look really, really cute, and that's how I try to draw most of my stuff. Whether it comes off across like that, debatable. Depends on who you are, I guess.
I think your art looks really good, and
Thank you.
if we are ever going to be looking for somebody to do art for our channel, definitely somebody we would consider if you're not way too busy with the stuff you're already doing. So.
Oh, thank you.
So, someone already made me into a Willicorn, but I wouldn't be all against becoming a Will Pegasus. Just saying.
I'll keep that in mind.
So there's a long story behind that. We'll talk about that later. Will, you had a different thing that you were interested in. You were curious about the type of art she draws for her Patreon account.
Yes.
We don't talk about that. All right.
Okay.
Yeah,
No, I'm
talk
kidding.
about
I'm kidding. So
Okay.
I post almost everything I create on Patreon. So if I'm just like sketching, I'll post it to Patreon if I feel like it. And then otherwise I do NSFW art because that's what gets money. I mean I can't lie about it. That's what I do.
I guess Will was just curious how you started doing that. That's all.
Yeah. How do you start that? Like, what was the inspiration? You're like, I think this will sell, and obviously it does.
Well, I started a Patreon because I was at a job and then I quit it because some shit happened and I was really like fed up with it, and then I was like, fuck, I don't have any money. And I need money to survive. So I was like, hey, I'm opening a Patreon. And I was very like, I felt really weird doing it because like my content is, of course, when you look at your own content, you never think it's good, right? So I'm like, I just didn't think it was good. So it was like, when I advertised it, I was like stressing, you do not have to pay for this. This is like, I won't update it frequently because of school and my schedule and whatnot. But this is like, if you want to support me, you can do this, but you don't have to. I'm not gonna stress that out. And then I got a job again, and I just continued Patreon because there's no reason not to do it, and people are subscribed to me, so I do want to still give them the content that they are paying for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I completely agree that Patreon should be there because inevitably, if you produce good content, people are going to want to be able to give you money directly. So they're not using a middleman like YouTube or advertising and all that stuff. And it's good to just have that avenue there so that for those people that want to contribute to the artist or the creator, it's there for them to do so. And it's not like, some scheming person on the internet like, I'm actually Rin, and it's not actually Rin. Like, who is this person?
Yeah, so I have a follow-up question that's sort of related. What do you think is the hardest part to draw? So, like, is the face the hardest for you to draw, or?
Men are hard.
So
I don't
men
draw
in general,
men.
okay.
I don't
Okay.
like drawing men because they're hard for me to draw. I don't know. I guess because like as a female, a woman, I can kind of look at myself and be like, okay, this is how I look. But in terms of like in general, the anatomy of anything is very hard to draw, and being able to keep up with like, oh, okay, like a person's about 8 heads tall, like 8 of their heads tall. Your like hand will reach to about your mid thigh, but like that's hard to keep in mind when you're in the moment drawing, especially different poses. My goodness. Like if you look at almost all my art, it's like about the same pose. I feel awful about that. I've mastered that one pose.
You mean like the with the hand up, or like which one in particular?
The bust up, like anything.
Oh,
like
I see
above,
what you're saying.
like the waist, I guess.
I was gonna say, when you say pose, you know, you're saying like essentially the position that they're in.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So like, yeah, I understand what you're saying. I don't want to keep delving into this and realizing like I'm asking the same question over and over and over again. I guess the next question is, what is your favorite type of content to create on your channel?
Right now, it's been the what is it called? The banner reviews. I think it's very interesting to really go into the art and like detail, like really describe the art, in my opinion. And it's also very easy content to create because editing videos is a bitch, and I think we all know it. And
Yes.
like, and this is like it's super. Like I crank one of these videos out in like an hour or two. The thumbnails, what takes a long time. But like probably that. Eventually, I plan to do Let's Plays when I get into more of a situation where I'm using a laptop right now, so I would like optimally to use a desktop to do my more like different Let's Plays. I'm already kind of doing them right now, and then streaming too, like eventually. But right now, probably the banner reviews or the tea times are really nice to make too, because again, it's really easy. I just throw in something of me drawing and I talk over it forever how long. And I don't know, I guess people fall asleep to it or something. I probably would.
No.
No.
Why would you think that? No, that wasn't meant to be a dig. That was like me laughing at the fact that you think people think that.
Well, because I know, like, if I put on, I'll put on Let's Plays I've already watched just to sleep to. I mean, I don't know. It still gives me a view. I could care less, I guess.
She's like, all right, I'm gonna put all of my old phones on youtube.com/rinrin and just have it play all of my videos in a playlist. No, get the watch time.
That's right. That's right. I'll get all the views and all the ads.
There you go. So I was going to ask, when you do these style of videos with the banners, what are you using to put the screen of your, I'm assuming this is your phone you're using to get it onto the screen with you like that. Is this live or do you put it on afterwards?
I put it on afterwards. I
Okay.
download the, oh wow, that's poorly edited. Oh God, now I'm embarrassed. So what do? I just download the video off of YouTube.
Oh, okay. So you don't record this from your phone. You record it from the YouTube video and do your reaction live on screen. Okay, I understand.
Yeah, I mean that's what I do. It is the easiest way to do it. Like, my God, the first one I edited was horrible to edit because I had to sync up my audio with like the times I paused in the video. Now I've learned to just not pause, and then review the art afterwards because it's just easier that way. But yeah, that's how I do it.
I can completely understand and respect what you're saying about that because we did like a 4-hour channel review of like 30 some odd channels one time. Like a speed, it was like a speed review of like. Anyways, editing that was the most painful thing I have ever done in my entire life.
Yeah.
And I will never do audio syncing like that ever again if I don't have to. Never again.
I have a video where I did screen record my my phone, and it's like it's an episode, like it's a stupid mobile game or whatever.
Yeah, I saw that.
And yeah, so like that I like just screen recorded it on my phone and then like uploaded that to Google Drive and then put that over the video that I was already using.
So you just synced yourself up with the mobile game that you were playing?
Yeah, which is insanely hard to do, but
it is.
You know, like people won't notice like a millisecond of a delay, I guess.
You'd be surprised. There are some audio files out there that will catch on to those things.
Don't say that. Let me live in ignorance.
I know this because I used to produce music, and that was a painful process to put a music video together. That's why I just said, you know what? It's a meme for the Little Mermaid video. So I was like, you know what? If I lip sync something wrong, I'm just doing this in one take. It'll be a meme forever. But people noticed, and my brother was like, "Did you?" I was like, "Yeah."
Don't talk about it.
Anyway, so as far as the banner reviews, I do appreciate the fact that you delve into the art style of it. I think that's cool that you do that. As far as the perspective on, especially this video, I know you did it on like very little sleep. Do you ever feel like these banners? It'd be nice if they had some kind of better warning for you when they're coming out, so you could react a little easier to it.
I've gotten actually pretty good at predicting this banner. I like sometimes I won't pay attention. Heroes, if you don't know, uploads a monthly calendar that'll give you like when it won't tell you when it'll release a banner, but it'll tell you when it will release like summoning sessions for certain characters. And banners will typically come out 2 to like a day or 2 earlier than that, like summoning session is available. So I've gotten pretty good at actually predicting. This month I was just lagging and didn't even like pay attention to the monthly thing or whatever, and so this was like 4 a.m. and I was like, oh god, no. Why, Mila, why? But they tend to come out, I have to be like appreciative towards heroes, they tend to come out when I don't feel like making content and I don't have like videos to upload for that week, so it's like an excuse to upload.
Gotta feed that algorithm, right?
It's like a force, right? I have to do it because I'll lose so many views if I don't do it right when it comes out or within the few hours that it comes out. Because it's such like a timed thing.
Absolutely, it's like an art version of the news where you like if you don't hit it right away, you've lost out on that.
Exactly. Like if I upload it like a week afterwards, I won't get nearly as many views as I do on a normal video.
All right, well, you got the next controversial question here.
Controversial?
I said controversial question, but it came out like, who's your question?
Oh, okay.
I don't know what I said.
So what's your favorite and least favorite Fire Emblem game?
So my favorite Fire Emblem game is Fire Emblem 4, Genealogy of the Holy War. That is my top favorite. It's such an emotional game. That I think, honestly, it's the only Fire Emblem game that I can see people not wanting to spoil because it's so, like, watching that and experiencing that game is so emotionally investing. If you can't tell, I'm a very, like, story-based person. When I play a game, I'm very, like, I don't typically play it for the gameplay, I play it for the story. Like, I'm well-versed in, like, I'll play any game as long as it has a good story. So, I definitely have favorites, but... Oh god. So like that's my favorite. My least favorite probably.
Oh, hold on, you froze.
Probably. I froze.
You're back. You're good.
Okay. Hi.
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Of my least favorite is probably Fire Emblem Fates, specifically Revelations. I couldn't even finish that one. Like I'm still like midway through that game, and I'm a very story-based person, so when you have so many qualms with one game and there's so many contradictions and so many things that don't make sense, it's so aggravating. That being said, I definitely have other games that I don't like that I have a lot of story-based things, like Fire Emblem not Path of Radiance, but Radiant Dawn, which I think could be infinitely rewritten 10 times better, but
yes.
I still do like the game for all the shit I give it. Like, it's definitely not my least favorite.
Just real quick, Path of Radiance took like it was like a very gray story, and then Radiant Dawn's like, nope, it's black and white, bad guys and good guys. It's like, okay.
Yeah, no, Path of Radiance is one of my favorite Fire Emblem games. It's like probably my second favorite. And then Radiant Dawn, I played that right after, and I was like, oh, ew. Why? Like, I get whiplash from changing between so many armies, and then Micaiah just irritates the living hell out of me. I don't know, and then I don't even get to. It's so aggravating. It's okay.
I like that Fire Emblem's willing to try things like that though, because Radiant Dawn was such a change of pace.
I agree. I think it was a very good thing to try, but poorly executed.
Yes.
I don't think Alencia's army should have been a thing. Like, that should have been completely cut out, and it should have been combined with the Grail mercenaries. And then like some of the characters you can fall in love with in Path of Radiance will just get completely shit in Radiant Dawn, because like Marcia is the perfect example. She is very bad in Radiant Dawn because of her availability is so extremely low. So it's just kind of like it's a toss up. A lot of people actually really like the playstyle. It's just not for me.
So I know we talked about this before. If they were to remake Genealogy of the Holy War, what would you change about that game?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Except for the graphics. I mean, like, there's Genealogy of the Holy War is such a unique game. One, I don't think they'll remake it because it is so unique. Like, if you want Whiplash from playing like a different Fire Emblem game, play Genealogy of the Holy War Thracia 776. But I really can't other than like stuff like I'm like, no, I don't want this particular person to die because I really like that character. I wouldn't change anything because there's so much stuff that is just so like it's so dear to my heart that I wouldn't want to change anything about it.
So the only thing I'm just going to give you what I was going to say about it. The only thing I would change personally myself is I know you get save states in emulation. It would almost be good if they had like a more advanced checkpoint system, so you wouldn't have to restart these massive levels over losing one character, which is what always frustrated me.
It has in Fire Emblem 4 you can save every turn.
I know that. I'm aware of that. I think it would be cool to have like a checkpoint, like almost like
or maybe
separating.
Like a Mila's turn wheel.
Yeah, that too. That would be a good one too.
Because I know in what was it called? Not New Mystery of the Emblem. Is it called? Shadow Dragon. In Shadow Dragon, they had like checkpoints on the maps.
Yes, they did.
So I think maybe that if that was implemented, because the maps are huge. I mean, they are like the game like has very short amount of chapters because the maps are like 5 chapters in one. It feels like.
I would never want them to break up the chapters because it would kind of wreck the story a little bit.
I agree.
But I would like to see like a reset point. Like if you get to a certain point in the story, all right, now if you progress further and you lose a character, you can revert back to that point and then like literally like a save state. Because saving after return is great and all, but at some point you run out of save files where you can't roll back. That's what I'm saying. Like some kind of an advanced, like I said, it's some kind of advanced checkpoint system. But that's the only thing. That's it. What is your favorite non-Fire Emblem game or series?
Legend of Zelda. And my favorite out of that specifically is Wind Waker. I have like an emotional attachment. I know it's probably not the best game in the series, but it is my favorite.
Don't you say that. Fire Emblem. I can't even talk to that.
Come on, Chris.
Legend of Zelda Wind Waker is one of the greatest Zelda games in my opinion. And Will, you can fight me.
I enjoyed that one. I thought it was hilarious how he squeaks when he crawls.
I agree. There's just a lot of like, especially in the GameCube version, I think the Wii U really like helped that game a lot. But there's a lot of stuff that you can tell they just added for extra playtime. Like the finding the Triforce shards is so annoying in the GameCube version.
You mean the Triforks?
Yeah, trying to find those things is so annoying, and I think they added in just so it was like, oh, okay, it's not a 50-hour game, it's a 60-hour game. Like, it's like,
Nintendo would never do that.
No. But like.
Oh, and I'm sorry, this is the first time we've frozen on Skype this many times. Hold on. All right, go ahead. You started with why it was emotional for you.
Yeah, so I remember like when I was 3 or 4, when the game first came out and my dad would he'd go in to play it and I would just sit there and watch him for hours on end, watching him play this one game. And early in the morning, I would grab the disc for it, not the disc, but the box, and I'd be like, Dad, play the green guy game, because I didn't know how to fucking read. I was stupid. But I would be like, Dad, play the green guy game. I want you to play it. It's my favorite. And then it's an emotional thing for me. It's the first game I've ever actually witnessed somebody play, or witness in general.
That is really funny because I have a similar with my sisters and Link to the Past, but Will, you got the next question.
Yeah. Do you ever feel divided between your artwork and your channel?
Excuse me?
Do you ever feel divided between your artwork and your channel?
Like what's taking up your time or your artistic that kind of a thing? Like are you
Yeah. I guess like I don't. That's actually a really good question. A lot of like I can easily do both of them because I can just do a tea time and then have my artwork in the background and film me like drawing it. So it's not really like if anything, me doing art helps my channel because I'm able to just like record it and it's simple footage I can use for almost anything, and it also gives me more footage like more content to create. I'm never shy of like I can just make this one thing and be able to upload that. Like I have something right now that's in the backlogs. I've just been too lazy to edit it. So I mean, like it's I don't feel divided, and especially because my art, I guess, doesn't really take that long to create, and I don't draw unless I feel motivated to draw, and it's the same thing for content. I don't create content unless I feel motivated to do so because I don't want it to come out bad in that sense. If I create content that I'm not happy creating, then it's just going to be bad content. And that's like across the board for anything I do.
Understand. So you don't basically, as far as the time suck, it's not like affecting you in either way, whether you do the channel or the artwork. It's not, neither of it is fighting each other essentially.
Yeah, especially during quarantine right now, I can do almost anything.
There is that. Let's see. So what have been some of your favorite moments on your channel or anybody else's channel?
All of my favorite moments, actually no, I think filming the episode was probably that was pretty fun to do. That's on my channel, like the mobile game or whatever. But on somebody else's channel, I've enjoyed like my favorite thing to do is streaming Zelda with Mangs. Streaming Ocarina of Time, which is a game that I have like it's one of my favorite games, and to have a man who's 31 and never even seen the game before play it is like and like at the age of 31 didn't know that Sheik is Zelda, like that's like whoa, like how did you avoid that spoiler? That's almost like amazing. So it's like that's probably been just like streaming with Migs has probably been my favorite thing. It's something I look forward to every week.
I just can't get over the fact that he was literally spinning in his chair with his 3DS during that archery game.
Oh,
that is like one of the greatest moments on that channel. Like,
when he found out that the mini map existed, I died. I was like, Mangs, please. I've been telling you. Like, we're almost at the end of the game, and you just found out the mini-map exists. We're like 6 dungeons in, and and you just found out what the compass does? Like, I can't. I can't. No, I'm observant, I swear. Okay, whatever you say.
Well, that's like when Eric was describing his channel, he was like, Mangs knows a lot, but he doesn't really follow what he knows.
Oh, no, I agree, yeah.
Sometimes it just makes for more interesting content, though, you know, like when you just jump right into something like that.
No, and that's what made Ocarina so interesting.
Have you ever considered doing like a Wind Waker Let's Play since you love the game so much?
A Let's Play? Probably, because that's like, I can edit out a lot of the sailing.
Oof, don't get me started on the sailing.
A live stream, that would be difficult because like we'd have to play the Wii U version. There's no way I could do the GameCube version.
Too much frustration, or just the ability to actually stream it?
It would be more difficult to stream the Wii U version than it would to stream the GameCube version. Because the GameCube version, with a beefy enough computer, is you can emulate it. A Wii U version, it's hard to find capture cards that will sync up the audio perfectly and everything.
Really?
It is, and that's like, I was gonna invest in getting a capture card recently for the Switch, but it's actually like, unless you have an internal one, it's hard to find one that'll sync up the audio exactly right. So you have to either mute the audio for the Switch entirely, or put something else in the back, or just be okay with like a second delay.
Oh, okay, that's why I don't have a problem with streaming. I was gonna say, what's wrong with streaming the Wii U? Mine's internal. Okay,
Yeah.
My bad.
It being internal really, really helps. And then also just getting a Wii U because they're actually kind of hard to find because they didn't sell so well. Um, so like GameStop doesn't have them anymore, stuff like that. But it would have to be the Wii U version if I were to stream it because you could get the quick sale,
Right.
and looking
Yes.
for the Triforce shards is not as difficult or annoying.
Yes, it's much easier.
Hmm.
What other games have you considered live streaming?
Oh, geez. I haven't really, because I haven't. Fuck, I don't know. Probably any like annoying game. Oh, Hollow Knight. Yeah, Hollow Knight. Any game that can facilitate rage. It's pretty good to stream. Especially if you have like a co-host. I wouldn't stream Fire Emblem because I think I'd be too slow. Like I'd be boring to watch. When I play Fire Emblem, I'm just like, yeah, okay, whatever. When I like right now, I'm doing a Marianne solo, and I guess that might be interesting, but that would probably, nah. I do plan on doing like over the summer a Let's Play with Mecha of 3CS 776. I haven't played that game yet, and that's his favorite game, so I'm excited to see how that'll go.
Just do Fire Emblem 7 solo Rebecca.
Oh yeah, because that's gonna make everybody happy. Everybody's gonna love me then.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry I derailed that. What's the next question?
All right. So, what are your favorite Fire Emblem YouTubers?
Oh, specifically Fire Emblem? Well, obviously Mains and Mecha, and then I think Chaz is an amazing. Like his editing skills alone warrants like a #1 spot in anybody's like YouTube favorite whatever. And his thumbnails too are adorable. Like I don't know, you should definitely follow the artist that does his thumbnails because they're so cute. I can't. But Chaz has amazing editing skills, so just that in itself is definitely one of my favorites. And then Speedy Hawk is very fun. I think he's just a very fun person to like be around too. And definitely Bismix. Bismix is probably like easily top 3. Because he's very funny. I mean, his skits are like very like relatable, I guess. And I'm trying to like, I like Goosephone a lot too. Louise, she's very very nice.
This video cracks me up. I think all of these people, the people you mentioned, well, some of the people you mentioned are in this video, but this was a hilarious video. I love when Mangs walks in and goes, this is Norwegian. He's talking about the vodka or something. I don't remember.
I haven't watched that video. I don't like I haven't watched Lucky Crits, Gast, or I'm trying to think. I haven't really watched Lucky Crits or Gast videos. Oh, Sage Master. I like him a lot too. I like his. This is
sorry. Stage Master is not in this video. I apologize. I was gonna say he's in it, but I don't think he is.
No, I don't think he is either.
But yeah, in walks Mangs, and then that made the whole video in my opinion. I'm sorry. You said Stage Master? Let's see. I like to pull up the channels that you talk about. You said
Sage Master.
Sage Master. I'm sorry. I heard Stage Master.
His in my opinion, his best content is when he compares Fire Emblem Heroes dupes. So on the Play Store, there's like a lot of copies of Fire Emblem Hero games.
Oh.
So he compares them and is like, oh, this one's like bad, or this one's actually pretty good, but wasted potential because it's just like a rip-off of Fire Emblem Heroes.
Mm-hmm.
It's always fun to like go in and look at all the clones of games. Like,
yes.
There is actually a really good clone of a Fire Emblem, like actually like legit traditional Fire Emblem. Have you ever heard of Parsha? Parsha, I think it's pronounced. I could be pronouncing that one wrong too. You ever heard of it?
I haven't.
I'm pretty positive one of the either Mangs or Mecha did it at one point in time, but I wanted to get my Fire Emblem fix on mobile, and this was the best thing I could find. This was like years ago at this point.
Oh,
but
wow.
You can see
Yeah,
it,
this
it
one actually
definitely
looked pretty good.
Oh yeah. Oh wow. Yeah.
They literally say in in their description, this is our version of Fire Emblem on mobile. And I think this is like circa 2010 or something. I don't know. It was a long time ago at this point. But it's pretty good if you want to get a Fire Emblem fix on mobile and you're not really feeling like playing Fire Emblem Heroes.
Okay. Yeah, it does look good. I mean, yeah, I can definitely see the Fire Emblem influence.
But there's a lot of crappy looking Fire Emblem clones that you have to look through before you find this one, because this one's like buried in the App Store. It's got like so few downloads. I recommend it. You should check it out.
Cool, I definitely will. Thank you.
What are your favorite non-Fire Emblem YouTube channels to watch?
Okay, so I watched like a lot of I think if you know who Danny Gonzalez is, I like him a lot. He does like a lot of reactions or a lot of like he talks about like random stuff.
This
Drew
guy?
Gooden, yeah. Drew Gooden, same type of material. In terms of Let's Plays, I like channel. Oh, I'm going so fast. It's hard for you to type.
It is.
I like Call Me Kevin. I think he's very fun. And that's like those are probably like the three.
Yeah, I like that guy too.
Yeah, he's really funny.
Talk about that thumbnail.
Those are and Cody Co. I like Cody Co and Noel Miller. Those are probably the three I mostly go to. Yeah, or the 4, 5-ish I mostly go to, like when I like do anything YouTube related that's not like Fire Emblem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are. Or I like this is a joke channel by the way, but Risto Cook.
How do you spell that?
So R-I.
Yep.
S-T-O. Space K-U-K-K.
K-U-K-K?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that one. Yeah, that. Never mind. This is my favorite Fire Emblem YouTube channel. I'm sorry. Just go to his videos and just look at the titles. I swear to God.
This isn't the guy that accidentally named Fort Mang something really strange for a while, is it?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No, this is the guy. I'm sorry. Continue.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I heard a story about Fort Mangs I might have to ask you about in a second.
So this is the guy who joined Fort Mangs and immediately got banned because he posted a picture of his sink with just his like pubic hair in it.
Oh my gosh.
He's such an interesting guy. If you look at any of his streams, they're so funny, and just the way he spells things. And his most recent videos are him playing Thracia 776 with his feet, but you can't tell because it's just a screen recording of his phone, and it's so funny. I love him so much.
Oh man. Well then, we need to get this guy to blow up then.
You need to get this guy on the channel.
Maybe he's gonna review Rin's channel.
If you like click any of his, you can't understand a single word he says. He talks like he's he's not like English isn't his first language. He's not from the U.S. So it's like okay, I get it. But he talks like he's like a drunk 40-year-old. He's like just getting home from the bar, and he had to get somebody to like carry him home because he couldn't order like a taxi or anything.
Oh my gosh.
This is like the best review of a channel I've ever heard.
Mm-hmm.
He's my favorite channel. He's so funny. If I ever like, this is probably the one channel that if I get sad, it's just him dabbing twice. I can't. Going to his fucking channel overlay looks so fucking funny.
Okay. So obviously, if Rin's channel ever gets to like 1 million subs, this guy is gonna be plugged on her channel at least once.
Hell yeah! Yeah. He's very like I can't even describe this guy anymore. He's so fucking funny.
I'm definitely gonna check him out. You've got me intrigued.
You should look at his banner. It's not even of Roy's face. It's just like he didn't crop it at all.
Like, is he doing this? You don't know if he's doing it ironically or if he's just doing it because whatever.
It's hard to tell. Like, I'm like, okay, listen. So Mangs introduced me to this guy's channel, and we were like, we had just like finished recording something, I can't remember, and we were watching his videos, and Mangs commented on one of his videos, and like almost right away, Risto Cook responded, and in broken English, Risto Cook was like, "Oh, Mangs, I always reply to you. Why don't you reply to me back?" or some shit like that. And I was like, Mangs, you need to reply to him. My God. He runs. He has a Discord server that I'm in, and it's so funny.
This guy has a Discord server?
Yeah, the link actually works on his most recent video.
Wait, it didn't work before?
No.
You know, you can actually. I know how that happens though, because you can end up. Will is like, did Will freeze?
Oh, rip Will.
Well, rest in
He's
peace.
missing all
here.
the
Can you hear me?
Risto
I can hear you now.
content.
Yeah. There you
Yeah,
go.
so my computer like just shut off.
I can still hear you. So just we'll
Yeah,
just
well,
roll with it.
I turned it back on.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
I don't know what's happening, but I'm here.
Oh, hi, Will.
Okay. All right then. So we got one last question here, and I guess I will ask it since Will is.
I can ask
essentially-
it. My voice is floating in the ether.
Can you see the question?
Yes, I can. I
Okay,
can see
then
the
you go
screen.
ahead and ask the question.
Yeah. So, is there anything else you'd like to talk about that we haven't covered already?
Oh, this is such a broad question.
Yes, it is.
Not really. I think I've said my piece with and I'm very happy I got to talk about Risto Cook.
Oh, I have a question now. All right, do you know what happened with the Fort Mangs name? Because Eric on the last time we talked to him said that for some reason the Fort Mangs group had a different name and they couldn't change it because Facebook has like a strict policy on changing names.
Oh.
Apparently it was like a relatively inappropriate name to be on Facebook without getting removed from Facebook. But if you don't, maybe you may not have been around during that time, but I know that Eric was talking about it at length, and I was like, this is an interesting story. I want to know what happened, but if you're not the person to tell that story, that's fine.
Yeah, geez, I'm sorry. No, I am not the person to tell that story because I have no idea what happened. I didn't even know that was a thing that happened.
Yeah, it was like Fort Risto. Yeah, it's not spelled Cook, but spelled something else.
Oh, okay. That was probably a joke by somebody then.
I'm
I
sure it
imagine.
was, but apparently they couldn't change the name for a period of time following that change because Facebook has a strict, like, you have to wait like 30 days, and then they screwed up changing the name a second time, is what Eric said. I can't validate any of this information unless somebody actually has either screenshots or a story to tell. So, anyways, if Rin ever makes, do you have a Facebook group for your channel?
No, I don't use Facebook.
I was gonna say I didn't find one because I always look for the. Wow, that sounded like a creepy thing. I didn't find one. I usually look through the social media listed on the YouTube channel to put it into our descriptions when we host guests, and I was like, oh, she doesn't have a Facebook on there, so we have one. And it's barely used, so I don't know if we'll always use it. I've seen a lot of YouTubers just drop off on that. But do you feel like you get a lot of social media interactions with people when you post?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think that's probably the one thing I'm really happy about my community is that most of the time I get a really good like feedback from them. Like I get a decent amount of comments compared to like my how many subscribers I have, and my views are consistently about the same, and that's like something I'm very appreciative of, is that the people who are subscribed to me are staying, you know. They're not like just watching a video and leaving. So that like that's yeah.
That is good. And I will say this, your channel is outperforming a lot of channels your size because you're getting like double the views of your subscriber count.
Yeah, I'm actually really, really happy about that. I think my like if I'm angry about something, people like to see that, and I guess it's because I'm like a small girl, and a small girl getting angry is like funny to people. I don't fucking know. But like so my Micaiah video, my most recent one did really, really well, and I was really happy about that.
If you had to pick your least favorite storyline in the entire Fire Emblem series, whether it be a romantic one or like a battle related one, or what would your least favorite one be?
My least favorite storyline is the fucking storyline where if you drop your kid off on a fucking island in Fates, they grow up magically, and you can marry them off to each other. Like, okay. So I'm raised with these people, and they're known as my family and my brothers and sisters, but then I get kidnapped, and and then I find out that these other people are actually my brothers and sisters, and in the end I can marry both of them.
But it turns out nobody's actually my family.
Except for Azura, who you can also marry.
That's the one that's weird. That's the one that's weird. Although it is weird growing, like, that would be illegal in any state in the U.S. to marry any of those people.
Yeah, no, it's so weird. It's so gross.
I do find that weird. So who do you pair up with the main character in that story when you play it? Or are you just forgetting that it exists?
My first, like, when I tried to play it, the first person I paired up with was Jacob. He's like your servant or something, which is also kind of fucking weird and bad. Like, you shouldn't be like dating your employees, but whatever, I guess. And then my other person, I ended up, like, if I were to choose, would be Silas, who is also weird because he's like, I'm your best friend, and you're like, I don't remember you, but you can still bang him, so it's like whatever.
I didn't realize that the I'm like not well versed on support system in Fire Emblem because I didn't actually use the support system in Fire Emblem 7 like at all.
Yeah.
Because I was too young to realize what it was, and then I just made it a meme of myself just not using the support system at all. Mm-hmm. So I didn't realize the S rank, the first person you hit S rank with, it was like that's forged in steel essentially for the rest of the game.
Oh yeah.
So I ended up with RYNTAI.
Oh really? Did you like her?
I think she's cool. I mean, whatever. But I was like, oh, I didn't actually pick this person. They just wound up getting S rank first because they're OP on. At least in my playthrough, she was OP. So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I haven't played Fates, but again, I've only played Revelations, and in Revelations, you get literally every royal character, so there's no reason not to use a royal character because they're the best characters in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Oh, another one. I don't like how a certain white-haired character will love and like take care of a little green-haired boy and then abandon them because she's like, I'm going to get hurt and I don't want you to get hurt, but I'm going to abandon you purposely and then act like you don't exist and then pretend like you're going to be fine and dandy wherever you go off to, and then when I meet back up with you again, I'm going to fucking marry you. I don't like that either, but you know, whatever.
What's your favorite storyline?
The one, it's like a stupid one because ideally it wouldn't happen, but the one with Sigrid and Deirdre and how they meet and how he just instantly falls in love with her and she does the same with him. Or vice versa, the one where if you... Oh, this is a spoiler. Spoiler alert! The one where in Seliph, their child, if he goes to a beach on a certain map, he can see their dead, like their ghost, and he can talk to them, and it's like a very like special moment and stuff. Yeah, the anything genealogy. Although I don't like the incest in genealogy, but that's we don't talk about that. We don't talk about the bad games. We don't talk about the bad things in the games I like. We talk about the bad games in the games I don't like.
Like shoveling snow in Revelations. Oh, you like snow? Well, here's some more.
No, Mike.
Here's some ice. Oh, look, it works just like the ice in the dungeons in the Pokemon games for some reason, because that makes sense.
Also, we won't tell you that there's hidden shit everywhere in this map, so if you just go for the ending, then you're fucking fucked.
With that being said, is there anything else you'd like to touch on?
I would like to say that I appreciate being on this channel, and thank you for interviewing me.
Yes.
Thank you very much. You've been a solid guest.
Thank you for coming on.
And,
thank you.
We're definitely going to let
you...
I
got froze and it's just my voice.
You know what? This is what Will's been wishing for like months now, is just a still image of his face.
I wanted a better photo, though.
And not have like a random green screen effect to erase his hat, which I've just realized is still turned on.
I don't know how that happened, because I don't have a green screen.
You don't. I must have had it on for a different recording. And I forgot to turn it off. Oh, well. You got your wish. You got a still image. We're going to get you back on Thursday. So just want to say we appreciate you taking the time to do this interview. And she'll be back on tomorrow on Thursday. So don't forget, she's got 2 more episodes to do after this one. So
yes,
as always, we will see you
on next CHRILLCAST.
I didn't sign us off. I'm Chris.
What? Yeah, you screwed it up.
I know I did.
I'm Ren. Bye.
Yeah, we're just going to, yep.